for today's guitar. Today we're discussing a topic should ban almost every student. Should schools ban mobile on theory class? Or some people think these markets have a student learning possible, while others believe that the biggest instructor in the classroom. To discuss this issue, we invite the private delivering of videos. Let's welcome This is So we have next Risky Eggman. That is and the other teacher that I am Thank you all for coming to this podcast. Before we start, let's hear your first thoughts. Please answer the one question. What about Asa?
Okay, so actually, I don't think one should be completely banned because they are useful learning tools.
What about Princess?
For me, I agree with banning phones during lessons because they distract some students.
What about Risky?
I think technology is part of education. So students should learn it to respond civic.
So phones are useful, but schools still need clear classroom rules.
Our undergraduates, how about you?
I think balance is the best solution.
Let's begin with why do you support raise headings?
Honestly, because I've seen what happened in class. Students say they're searching for information. After 2 minutes, they're watching TikTok, replying message, or playing video games. Phone make it very easy to lose focus. Sometimes one notification is enough to distract someone for several minutes. Learning becomes ineffective. That's why I believe schools should ban phone during lessons.
What about us? Do you agree with when this is a statement?
I'm not really agree because I understand Princess' concern, but I don't think banning phones solve the problem. Phones are bad by themselves. We're just tools. For example, when I understand a lesson, I can quickly search for explanation, watch educational videos, use online dictionaries, or join quizzes like Kahoot. Without smartphone, learning can actually become less interactive. Instead of banning them, schools should teach students how to use technology wisely.
But honestly, not every student is responsible enough.
That's true. I agree with you. But if schools always ban everything, then it might be distracting. Students won't learn self-control. Responsibility is something we have to practice.
Wow, interesting day by Asa and West. So what about Risky? What do you think?
Maybe I agree with Jason. Technology is everywhere. Universities use online learning. Companies use digital platforms. Even many exams are computer-based now. If students never learn how to manage technology at school, they'll struggle later in life. Schools should prepare students for the real world instead of avoiding technology.
That's a strong argument. For the answer, as a teacher, what do you think about this opinions?
I understand both sides. As a teacher, we often experience students secretly playing games or chatting during lessons. That makes teaching difficult. However, phones also allow students to access information much better than traditional textbook. So personally, I don't support a total ban. I support controlled use. Students should only use phones when teachers allow them. Then rest of time, phones should stay in their bags.
So rules are more important than banning phones.
Exactly. Rules create discipline.
How about that? What's your opinion?
I think both sides are correct. Phone helps students learn, but they also reduce concentration if they are wasted. Why this school called divide classroom achievement into two parts. During explanation must stay away. During lessons of online assessment and other.
Alright, which are your first openings? Now, it's time for the night station. I want everyone to respond to each other respectfully. Remember, there is no right or wrong answer here. Let's begin. One says, imagine your school announces that starting next Monday, every student must leave their phone in a locker before entering class. Will you support that policy?
Honestly, yes, I would. I know some students might complain, but I think they eventually get used to it. Let's be honest. Most students don't actually use their phone for learning. They use them for social media, games, chatting, or watching videos.
Yes.
I've seen students pretending to take notes while secretly scrolling through some social media application. That's not helping anyone. If phones are outside of the classroom, students will pay more attention, participate more, and communicate with each other instead of staring at the screen.
Asa, what's your response?
I understand why one says things that way, but I still disagree. The problem isn't the phone, it's the behavior. Imagine someone talk loudly during class. We don't ban talking forever. We teach students when it's appropriate to speak. The same goes for smartphone. Instead of banning them, schools should teach digital responsibility. Technology is part of our lives. The sooner students learn to manage it wisely, the better prepared they'll be for university and work.
But Asan, do you really think every student is responsible enough? Some students can even stop checking notifications for 5 minutes.
Not everyone is responsible yet. That's exactly why schools should educate students instead of simply taking their phones away. If students never get the chance to practice self-control, how will they develop it?
Interesting point from both of you. Risky, whose argument do you agree with?
The thing I'm closer to as an opinion. Nowadays, almost everything is digital. More is uploaded online. Teachers send announcement through message apps. Many schools use online quizzes like Google Forms or Kahoot. If schools completely ban phones, students may lose quick access to this learning resource. Besides, searching for information in seconds can make discussion much more engaging.
Students often say they're researching, but after 1 minute, they're watching funny videos. Teachers can monitor 20 students at the same time.
That's true, but some students also
They dream
they do it with phones. Some talk to friends. Some draw in their notebooks. Distraction have always decided. One just make them more visible.
I'd like to add something here. As a teacher, I've experienced both situations. Sometimes phones help students finish assignment faster. For example, when we discuss current events or scientific discovery, students can immediately search for reliable information. However, I've also caught students playing games during lessons, so I understand why some teachers support banning phones.
Ariansha, if you were the principal, what rule would you make?
I wouldn't completely ban smartphones. Instead, I'd create clear guidelines. First, phones stay inside bags unless the teachers give permission. Second, students who miss phones receive warnings. If they repeatedly break the rules, strict consequences follow. The goal isn't punishment. The goal is helping students become responsible.
I actually like that idea. I think responsibility goes when people are trusted. If school does this, student will also be student will value discipline.
Maybe. But what about cheating during exams? Phone makes cheating much easier.
That's different. During exams, phones should absolutely be prohibited. Academic honesty is essential.
I completely agree. Even though I support phone use during learning, I don't support using phone during tests. That's unfair.
Same here. Once to help people learn, not help them cheat.
Good. It looks like everyone agrees on that point. Now, let me ask you something else. Do you think students today depend too much on smartphones?
Definitely. Sometimes people don't even remember simple informations because they know they can search it for later. We're becoming too dependent in technology.
I think dependence becomes a problem only when technology replaces thinking. Using Google to verify information is fine. Using Google instead of thinking is not. Students should still analyze, question, and understand what they read.
Exactly. Technology should support our brains, not replace them.
That's why digital literacy is important. Students need to learn how to recognize fake news, evaluate search, and use technology ethically. Schools all teach those skills.
I couldn't agree more. Education today isn't only about memorizing facts, it's about developing critical thinking, communication, creativity, and digital responsibility. I can support these goals, but only if they are used correctly.
Here is my last question. Imagine you will chance on thing about smartphones in schools. What would it be? First, Wences.
I'd ban phones during every lessons, but allow them during lunch breaks and after schools.
I hold phones during learning activity with teacher supervision and encourage schools to teach digital responsibility.
I create workshop about responsible smartphone use instead of focusing only on restriction.
How do you establish clear classroom policies that every teachers and students follow consistent?
And combine icons, it is clear rule, teacher supervision, digital literacy lessons, and consecution for wishes.
Excellent answer. Today, this debate proved that this issue isn't simply about whether phones are good or bad. It's about finding the right balance between technology, discipline, responsibility, and effective learning. And maybe that's the most important lesson of all. Okay, everyone, before we continue this debate, prefer sponsor this Tupperware. So this is Tupperware. You can use it for drink some water, like white water, Coca-Cola, Sprite, or anything. Maybe we want drinking milk or anything else. So this is not too expensive. This is not super expensive. So let's buy this Tupperware because this can help your life. Thank you. Let's continue to our debate. So, quick answer. Phones during exams. No. Oh. No. Phones during research projects.
Yes, definitely.
With supervision,
Yes,
Only if the teacher allows it.
Phones during lunch break.
Yeah!
Final statement. Let's hear one final message from each guest.
For me, discipline should always come first.
Technology should help students grow, not be feared.
It's responsibility instead of banning technology.
good education combines discipline with innovations.
the best solution is balance. Closing.
So it's time for it. Thank you everyone for joining today's discussion. We've learned that mobile phones have both advantage and disadvantage. Whether schools should ban them depends on how students and teachers use them together. What do you think? Should phones be better? Or should students learn to use them responsibly? Thank you for listening to School Talk Podcast, or SMANSA Podcast 2010. I'm Alga together with Asan, Wences, Rizky, Florensha, and Alvaza. Thank you for watching our in the next talk. Bye bye. Peace out. Bye.